Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, Insider, intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. We have Anthony Zender here again as a guest, and who will be talking with Peter and I, Peter the Insider, and we're going to discuss a few different topics, primarily Kruger, but who knows where it's going to go, and also Lincoln Clay. So if people have been wondering a little bit about these topics, this is what we're going to cover today. So without further delay, welcoming in Peter, the Insider.
Hello to both of you, technically to you, Jessica, and to Anthony, and to all of our fellow audience.
Okay, and hello, Anthony. How are you?
Jessica, I'm good right now. I'm ready to get this information out and do this interview. I'm very excited to get out the information that is about to come forth. So thank you for having me.
Sure. And I just want to tell everyone, a lot of times when we're trying to put out information and there's resistance, there's an energetic resistance to get the information out. So we had a bit of a problem today. And, they kind of mess with technology and create all different types of problems, frequencies, and whatnot. And so in this case, Peter, usually who's, typically punctual, showed up a little late, out of breath, and then this happened. So maybe, Peter, you can explain what happened to you.
Yeah, so technically, I was talking about with Lincoln Clay, about latest stuff, latest missions, memories, how it was good with Anthony, all kind of that stuff, and then somehow out of nowhere, Heather showed up in front of us, and we were like, okay, what is that? And she started to whispering, like what it was, some sort of tempting voice, like that she's our queen, our goddess, and all kind of that stuff. And we were like, we looked at each other, and we were like, no, you are not. and then started happen. She looked at us, like she wanna mesmerize us or something like that. And once she realized that it definitely didn't work, she started fighting, and it was so crazy fight, such a crazy fight, that I was like, what in the world is this? It was absolutely crazy. And I am just a little bit over average, so 185 centimeters, that means 6'1" in the US and UK measurement system. But Link is really big guy, Lincoln Clay. She's like 6'10", something
He's
like that.
6'10".
Sorry, what?
You said she's like 6. You mean he's like 6'10"?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. He's like 6'10", 6'11", and she's small. She's smaller, much smaller. She's like what, 5'10" or so,
No, you said
something like
5'6".
5'6",
So yeah,
5'10". I mean, I cannot say, but let's say 5'10". I think it was 5'10", right?
okay.
Or something like that. And I was like, what the heck is this? And she started to fight with us. It was like a piece of cake for her.
The two of you. She was
Yeah,
fighting off the two of you.
yeah, that was absolutely absolutely crazy. I mean, like, what the heck is that? This is not okay.
So you said she had abnormal strength and she was very fast.
Absolutely, you are right. Absolutely. I mean, really abnormal strength. What the heck? This is not okay. This is not okay.
Did you feel like she was trying to kill you guys or just
Yeah,
to beat you up?
I don't want to say kill. Let's say uh, it was a, you know, warning.
Warn.
Yeah.
But you guys took care of it, right? You said you um put her in a portal of some sort.
Yeah, yeah. You are absolutely right. Yeah.
That's
We
how I
But
would have taken care of it.
yeah, and
yeah. That's
Yeah,
one way how
I have
we can.
missions to talk about too, where we're opening up portals, and obviously, yeah, I'm gonna be talking about those.
yeah. So
Yeah, you
one
are
last
right.
part of this is that I guess there was some technology that she had,
Yeah, she had something like that. That was absolutely crazy.
which could manifest anything that she wanted.
Yeah,
Something of
yeah. This is bad because I was able to see that she can create pretty much all kind of type of drugs, poisons. Also, this is not okay.
and then a black snake showed up that I saw, and then Peter,
Yeah,
you said that came from Australia.
yeah.
Yeah.
Red belly black snake. It's one of the most dangerous and poisonous, not only snake but pretty much animal all around the world. This is not okay.
So while Peter and I were having the discussion, the internet was completely going haywire for Anthony.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yes, it was. There was some interference going on, so very clear that they are, don't want what we're about to talk about to be talked about.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
But we're
Sorry.
about to talk about it.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't calculated right. It should be 5'8" or 5'9", but it should be maybe 5'8". I mean the height.
the height
Ha- ha-
of Heather.
Yeah, yeah, it is like that. Approximately.
So initially, you wanted to speak with Lincoln Clay because you knew you were going to be talking to Anthony today. And did you have anything that you said with were you able to have the conversation you needed with Lincoln Clay?
Yeah, everything was fine. I was like, everything is perfectly fine. It was, sorry, my bad. Yeah, everything was perfectly fine. Yeah. We what we want, we talked what we about that, what we want. Yeah.
And I mean, I can that was the first thing that I was going to talk about today was when I actually met with Lincoln Clay.
That's good.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. You were on the same wavelength.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that was just kind of synchronistically and ironically, that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Was when I met with Lincoln Clay, and the circumstances were, obviously I was waking up to things, to being a super soldier, and missions were coming back, and I found Super Soldier Talk, and then that's when I got in contact with Peter, and he had accessed my files and started telling me the information about being involved with Kruger, and the missions I've been to and the planets I've been to, and all that information obviously helped with starting for me to actually start remembering all the things that were happening. And when I actually talked to Peter one time, I was curious because I was wondering if I would be approached, if I was going to be approached at some time by somebody that would kind of just give me an inclination of what was going on. And that's when he told me that I'd be approached by Lincoln Clay in 2 months. And from that time, and at that time, I obviously was curious about Lincoln Clay. And that's when I got the game Mafia 3, started playing the game Mafia 3, to understand Lincoln Clay and what he was involved in. And obviously that whole game is about taking down criminal syndicates. So basically what happened was, at the time I was living in the middle of a forest, pretty much in a town that had two stoplights in it. So it was a very small town. And what happened one day was every day I would be going out to the forest and to practice my martial arts. And that's when Lincoln Clay actually he approached me, on a path I was walking. And basically what happened was I was walking on a path, and there was a baseball game going on, and on this path a black man with basically a green Marine Corps sweater, he basically came up to me, and in the world I don't really approach anybody, and when someone comes up to me, that's how I know they're part of the secret space program, of everything that's going on. So what happened was he came up to me, and he approached me because I wouldn't have said anything to him. And that's when he said, he's like, hey, I recognize you from somewhere. He's like, are you an MMA fighter? And I was like, yeah, I fight. And he's like, yeah, I swear I've seen you from somewhere. And I've seen you fight before. And he's like, you're pretty good. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And this was before I really knew who he was. And obviously he was approaching me to get me to remember. And he was wearing a Marine Corps sweater, kind of like the thing we see him in, except it was green, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't exactly what what we see him in as in the game portrayal, but it was close enough to where, you could be like, this is Lincoln Clay. And he was wearing a Marine Corps sweater. And basically we were just talking there, and he was asking me about my fighting, and then I asked him, I'm like, so what are you doing? Like, what have you been doing? Like, and he's like, oh, I just got off a deployment. And I'm like, okay, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go in the forest now and study my martial arts. And he's like, okay, he's like, that's cool. And he's like, he's like, by the way, he's like, my name is Jay. And he went out to give me a handshake, and he said his name was Jay, which obviously is very indicative of Lincoln Clay, but not exactly saying it. And I shook his hand, and then of course, this was I was still coming to recollection of who he was, but after that, it made perfect sense. With Peter telling me that he would approach me in 2 months, and at that time, it was pretty much 2 months' time. And so I met Lincoln Clay, out in the middle of the forest. So that was my my first run-in with Lincoln Clay.
Yeah, that's the way it happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy, that it's I don't want to say my predictions happened, but that Lincoln is man of the world. That technically means he said, I will approach Tony, Anthony, we need to discuss certain stuff and all kind of that things. And I was like, okay, do as you want, do as you like. That's absolutely crazy, you know. Jeez, man. It's and it happened as you describe it, Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah, it did, and I know that that was you know, kind of a welcoming, a warm up for everything that was going to be revealed to me, you know, as my awakening process was beginning, because obviously after all of this, I was remembering missions, you know, everything was coming back in a total recall, and obviously all these missions that I was recalling, you know, I have that they were all, I mean, either in on the Earth or not on the Earth in space, and obviously I was in my recall putting, you know, where these missions were taking place as I was remembering them, and why they were taking place, and obviously for the reasons of apprehending, you know, the cabal and the elite, and also as well as rescuing the children as well. And what was happening was I'm just going to start talking about missions I was recalling. Obviously, Delta Force is used for these missions, and you know, to go in and this is happening behind the scenes. You know, that all these people are getting apprehended, and people are getting rescued, and I was starting to recall many missions that I was involved in with Delta Force. Obviously, going in and you know, apprehending these people and rescuing people. But one of them that came back to me was actually what happened was one night I remembered. Basically, we were infiltrating in a sewer like environment, and I remember being with like two teams of Delta operators, which is about 24 guys, and we were basically in a sewer, and I remember being waist deep in water, and you know, being in Delta gear, and obviously we were going to do an assault into what I now have actually uncovered, because the next day what happened was QAnon actually posted up a Delta raid that had happened in Borneo on a Clinton stronghold there. And basically, Donald Trump had given the order to raid this place where they were obviously stashing cash and other things. But I remember the significance is I had the mission recall the night before they posted this up on QAnon, and even that can be looked at on the internet, is this raid on the Clinton stronghold. And I actually remember going into the raid with the Delta teams, and that was obviously that mission. And then just to get another confirmation on that, afterwards, actually I had another member of the teams get in contact with me and tell me he remembered as well the mission and remembered me on it. And actually this this individual, he is a very obviously highly skilled, intelligent individual, and he actually has patents with DARPA, with like obviously things that have to do with Facebook and the technology used in Facebook. But they basically misused his technology and weaponized it. And so when that was just one mission that I recall.
Sorry, my friend. I actually need to say, do you know what they did? I mean, with this, as you said, the weaponized mission, the invention, all kind of that stuff. They misused his invention about AI, artificial intelligence, and they misused it in order to calculate, I don't know how can I say it properly, the risks if they need to do it or not, aka that means will use I mean they won't let this computer-ish system, it is absolutely crazy, but they want to do it, to start or not start use also called football, respectively soccer ball. That means that and I don't know, I mean now it is not uh, real, right? I mean in our context of existence, because we completely disconnected from 20 April 26th this year, so 2020. But in their way it is working another way, that they've got missiles full of silos with completed ICBMs, that means intercontinental ballistic missiles, ready to launch. It is, what the heck is that? And only this crazy computer system, is making the physics-ish. I don't know how can I say it. How we can call it correctly, like calculations, and once if it will work, it will start doing. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck is that? I mean, they will launch the rockets, I don't know, to Russia or China or India, whatever. This is absolutely crazy, man, and nobody knows about that.
So this
Nobody-
is Monarch.
Yeah,
You talk about Monarch, and then you're saying that there would initiate like a third world war.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony.
But try
I
to
mean,
think.
he actually does know.
But try to think. This is absolutely against everything. You cannot. You can make a storage, solid storage for. I mean, you can make system everything okay. Everything will work. I mean, do you know what I mean? That this how can I call them, rockets? Those huge rockets. Everything can work. Everything will be fine, but without the head. I mean, actual warhead, because we are talking about the uranium, plutonium, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So technically, this, I mean, I like to call it, like a blind or white-ish stuff, or I don't know, greenish stuff, or red, right? Not red, my bad. Blackish stuff. Red technically are something you can what can kill you, but no, they are absolutely crazy. They are absolutely crazy.
Yeah, this individual, he did try to come forward. We did try to do something with Kerry Cassidy, and he got approached. He got threatened.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
obviously he has been doing stuff with DARPA, and he actually wasn't able to come forward because
No, my friend. I am not criticizing your friend or your, I don't know, commissioner. I'm talking that they misused it. No.
Of course, yeah, no, I understand that, and they did, but I was just trying to. He was trying to come forward as well, but they weren't. They allowed him not to do that. They scared him out of it.
And that's the problem. That's the problem, because technically you can completely build up the rocket. I mean, because for safety reasons, it shouldn't be completed at all. Being in the silo. No, this is no go. Period. End of story.
Are the silos in the Midwest of the U.S.?
That's the problem, that they are randomly. I mean, it is like that they were very highly sophisticated once they choose certain silos, in order, once they will start to make a chaos, between communication centers, those when they do all kind of that stuff what I'm saying, I mean when they did, those silos will be first like completely like done. I mean like, technically they the personnel they are in the area of the silo, they will lose completely contact with any other world. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So
their
so there will
communication
be,
cut off.
and that's the problem. That's the problem. There will be also called uh, or 1, 2, 3. Sorry, uh, uh, they are using computers, but problem is that those computers are also called like let's say safe ones. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, once you are in a need, and they believe the personnel they are trained like, okay, there is a system we can use. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's the problem. You can use, and this is the system. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because you can use is pretty much the stuff if president or whoever, if not president then vice president, or I don't know, the army, once it will be martial law, yeah, and if you say yes or no, and technically all the systems will start to create or not create the process. Do you know what I mean? But they trick them because this computer will start total independent and will say yes, I mean start to make the process like it or not. This is absolutely crazy. Holy
when
crap.
when I was in the late 80s, early 90s, I remember being in Nebraska and seeing silos like that. Is that the location, and were they created around that
not
time?
only not only
Right.
there, but yeah.
Yeah, they
And
were
of
there.
course we are talking about Midwest, yeah,
Yeah,
especially in the
because some of
deserts,
them are
especially
partially
in the
underground. Yeah,
and especially in the deserts, Mojave,
Mojave.
Mojave,
Yeah.
and the Sono Desert. Yep, yep. They are misusing that the fact that there no people. Do you know what I mean? No people are here, there. No, we will do that. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Is this another timeline, or is this on our timeline that this is
No,
supposed to
no,
happen?
this is another timeline, and I was just trying to say what the heck happened.
Because of what happened on April 26th,
Yeah,
when Monarch got shut down by the ACIO,
yep.
that means that this scenario will not take place. That's what you're saying.
Not in our reality. Yes, you are right. Yeah.
If it happens in another reality, do we have a ripple effect?
Yes, we have. Show house.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, no, Jessica, it is not. Yes, no, it is not.
No, it's
Definitely
not
not.
okay. I already know where you're going with that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because they're a bigger problem. It sounds like it's just like a house, my lab scenario,
Do you
and
know
it's
what,
much more.
Jessica? If for vast majority of people will be like, okay, insider went crazy, he's nuts. But for me, a show house being in charge not only over the UK but in the whole Commonwealth, it's much worse than Third World War using like all kind of systems like army stuff. Nope, I don't like that.
So this is the Monarch replacement. This is
Yeah,
in place of Monarch, so it's a
yeah.
bigger issue. So we need to understand more of what they're doing.
Technically, from my point of view, if there is shell house in in charge, or if they will use atomic bombs or hydrogen bombs, it's
So
not
this is the
okay.
reason why Anthony brought this up, because he's right in tune with where we're supposed to what we're supposed to talk about today.
Yes, yes, you are
Yep.
right. I am just saying, Anthony, that everything what you say or what you said, everything is how can I see that correctly? Everything makes total sense, complete sense, and it is not a story, because story can be made up, It is recollection, and it makes complete sense. It's very good. You got a valuable info.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing but recollections, that are coming back because obviously my whole reality is remembering all of my alter's memories, and that's what's happening to me. And I just was talking about, the Delta Force missions I've been on, obviously, which have to do with the things on this Earth right now that are happening, and just to mention another one, was obviously because Saudi Arabia is obviously involved in this, with the creation of social media and human trafficking and all of that. Saudi Arabia has been very involved in this, and I actually remember a mission where I was involved in infiltrating the King's Tower in Saudi Arabia, and obviously this was a apprehension, mission, and we were going in to apprehend individuals that are getting rounded up right now. The arrests are happening because I've been involved in missions where I recollect that they're happening, and we're going to many different places. But the King's Tower in Saudi Arabia, I remember dropping in onto the tower, getting in there. Obviously, there are things that happen, like things go wrong, and there are times where I have a recollection of being in a high rise, skyscraper, and having to and being fired at. We're taking fire, and I had to actually, in this specific memory, I had to get in an elevator, and as I got in the elevator doors were shutting, but they were firing weapons at it, and I remember the weapons just coming through the door. The bullets were just coming through the door, and I was posted up against the door, and the bullets were coming through the door, and then they actually cut the cables of the elevator, and that's when I remember falling, I don't know, maybe like 100 stories or whatever, and smashing obviously into the bottom. But I was still alive because obviously I'm in a super soldier clone body, and I remember getting out of the elevator, and there were soldiers all around, and that was when I went into runner mode, and I actually started running all over the walls, and that's when I took out what is referred to as the 3-in-1s out of my hands, and I just started doing all kind of acrobatics in the air, and taking out like simultaneously multiple enemies, and that was just another recollection of a mission I have that are going on to apprehend all the people that are getting rounded up for the tribunals, which I actually I can go into more, but I actually remember sitting in on the tribunals that were taking place, that all these people are getting apprehended for. So I remember being in the tribunals. I remember going in on these missions, like Delta missions, to apprehend these people. and and so I know it's really going on behind the scenes.
Definitely. Yeah. Peter, you there?
Yeah, I just wanna ask you. Once you start to talk about what Saudi Arabia, right? Yeah, it was technically, and to be perfectly honest, in I don't know which kind of countries, but you was driving like a crazy, you know. In It was some sort of ish, you know, Fast and Furious ish stuff, and you was
Oh, I
driving
remember. I
like
remember.
like in hypersport, exactly like in this crazy scene, you know, because Lincoln said to me that he was in the start of this, they call it snake, you know, and I was like, okay, and what was the task? And then he said me that it was such a crazy big ass device. I mean, you demount it for I don't know ish stuff, and and eh, I don't know. It was you. I mean, it was him, you, and I think it was maybe it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the last one was Faith Connors, right? And it was absolutely crazy because you just made it smaller, demounted it to uh, uh, oh, something happened. Okay. What happened?
No, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
I hear a buzzing.
Okay. It's fine. And then you simply make this stuff what was able, I mean, what should destabilize what it was, uh, another, what it was, energetic field and electromagnetic field ish stuff that it was able to destabilize or make it some sort of portal or something like that, and you was there. Weird.
Yeah, I do remember these things, you know, being in a lot of car chases and all these different missions, and just
Yeah.
actually because obviously we're talking about Kruger now, and that's I'm starting to, you know, even meet up because what happened was as I'm waking up to missions, I'm obviously starting to get connected to the people that are involved in these missions, like here now in this life. And
Hmm.
so what happened, and I know Peter, you'll know who I'm talking about when I mention this person. I actually got in touch with actually one of the designers of the maps that the runners use for their missions. And
I
obviously,
know who are you talking about, just
this
by the
this
way. I know.
he's a world famous artist from Norway. But yes, they do. He designs the maps for missions for runners to go into, and actually that's where the same maps are actually projected and depicted in the game Mirror's Edge with you know, with Faith Connors in it and Kruger. And obviously, when I talked to this person and he saw the maps in the game, that was when he started remembering being involved with me and coordinating with me with putting missions together for runners.
Hmm.
Um, you know, that we go on. So in that's where we bring up Kruger, and what obviously they're getting tasked out to do.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about as well. Yep.
Yep, you are right. You are absolutely right. It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so why is it that Heather didn't want us talking to Anthony today? What is it that
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
mean,
think
it's
it's
weird.
something important for sure. Yeah.
You don't. I mean, I don't know what's going on with her. She's really crazy, and I mean really crazy. Some I don't want to say sometimes, but you know, most times it is bad. It is definitely not okay. Definitely not okay. She's doing only what she wants, and once we or anyone starts to do what she wants, it's bad.
Well, if Anthony's working on projects or different types of missions to help the planet, and then obviously she's not going to be happy.
Yeah, but you know, you can be happy if you want to call it that way, that you are not the head of the squad as Lincoln is. Yeah, man, you can be happy.
Peter, can you share the connection that Lincoln and Anthony have? If I mean, I don't know, some of it might be confidential, but just in general,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
he like
yeah.
his superior in
It was technically on Delta Force, and it was some sort of extremely crazy, uh, extremely crazy ish stuff. Uh, Delta Force and what it was about. Second one, uh, Delta Force and SEAL 6, and technically they don't know who is superior. It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Because
because
they
they're
were
all
like,
elite soldiers.
yeah,
Is
but
that's
they were 24 soldiers, as you said. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I know, and they was, I don't know. You are was the happy one. I mean, okay. Long story short, there was a problem that there was the stupidest order they want to give you, because they want to go through the crazy ass bushes, and they don't know about this river, because they believe that the water is crazy as fast, all kind of that stuff, and that it isn't like that, and you said that, and Lincoln was okay. Try to do that, and it worked. You know, you technically, thanks to you technically rescued the whole mission. And you was just random from their point of view. You know, random member squad, and that was the story, if we wanna call it that way. You are Firth and Pine. Firth and Pine. Do you know what I mean like that?
Hmm.
He's
Yeah,
he's calling it. I don't know what does it mean. Like fair, like being friends, but what does it mean like pint? I don't know what is pint. Maybe no, paint. Okay, so the same. Huh. Tattoo. Okay. Okay. I mean, maybe you don't have tattoos. I don't know. I don't know.
I actually do. I have a Marine Corps tattoo, and I actually have a Black Ops patch tattoo.
Okay, so this
My-
is it.
uh,
Yep. And technically, you can have this UV tattoos. I mean, you cannot able to see that, but once you start all kind of that stuff, you will be able to do. Yeah, okay. Now it is making sense. Everything making sense. Okay.
Are you talking to him now? Because I can see him. I can see
Yeah.
him, Peter. Yeah.
And he's laughing. No, don't do that, man. He's laughing. This is not fair.
Well, at least you guys got through whatever, and you are in good shape right now, so that's good.
Yeah. Looking, showing the that. So, yeah. Sorry.
So they've known each other for a while, for a long
Yes.
time, longer than maybe not even this lifetime, even further, or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Definitely, you are right, because they are, both of them, they are old souls.
Yeah, but have done other types of military type of.
But good, yes, but for good purpose, or purposes, if you wanna call it that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you want to continue some of your sharing
Yeah,
experiences?
definitely, because I'm just, putting together all my experiences that are going on with, the mission recalls of just all kinds of different missions, extractions, infiltrations, sabotages, rescues, and obviously,
Sorry, I just want to say that Martin Gray say one, hey, help you, Martin Gray.
Who was
well,
that, Peter?
yeah,
You don't know?
No.
The instructor pilot in F-35, Martin Gray. Gray like a color, and Martin, it's, simply the name.
Yeah, and like you did inform that obviously I was involved in testing the F-35 when I was a child. So
Yes,
that
this is
makes sense. And I
this
remember,
is definitely true, because I was able to see the tons. I don't know. I don't want to say tons, but it was like more than 300 photos, and it was absolutely crazy.
yep, and I remember going in, to the simulator as a child,
Yes.
actually, and my uncle obviously taking me there, and I
Yeah.
remember that. And
But there were also video footages from this, and that's the stuff, I don't know, like GoPro cameras or so, and you actually kind of enjoy it. But you were small, making all kind of that stuff.
yeah, I did. I remember it. I remember I enjoyed it because I had been trained up to that point, by the people that were brought in my life, to enjoy,
Yeah.
being like a combat pilot.
Yeah. But
So,
sorry, my friend, we are not talking about simulator. Hey, stop. I'm talking about the real deal.
no, I understand, and even
But this was crazy,
mentioning
man. He
that,
was 12. He was 12, man.
okay, you mentioning that is exactly the same thing they did on Ender's Game,
Yeah.
because they trained Ender in all these simulators, but he was actually doing real stuff, and they didn't tell him that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you know what, actually? I think they don't care that much, because in fact, considering fact, you was 12, you don't look like. He was like 16, 17, and like, just make these, he's my friend, you know what I mean, like that. And they were like, okay, why not? And then they were like, what the heck is that? This is only one prototype. What the heck are you doing? I was able to see this video, and they were, just making those. They were shouting, I mean, yelling at each other,
Well, I remember even the the people that were running the simulator. as I was flying it around, I could hear on the headset, they're like, give him missiles. They're like, give him missiles.
Yes.
You know, and that's, I was just getting the experience that I thought I was just flying a simulator.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was
And
flying.
you wasn't. And you wasn't. Yeah.
But that brings us back to all these video games and all these
Yeah.
kids playing video games and how much of it, kind of manifests like that whole scenario of Tarkov.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
Yeah, the video
Absolutely.
game Russian, and what Peter, you said that a majority, it was so popular that they actually brought that, context of existence here.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yep. It manifests. It manifests.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah, you are right.
But they
So
know
many-
that the power of games.
So many people want. I mean, they thought about Tarkov, all kind of that stuff. They did materialization, and somehow, just like that, in this particular place in Russia, and people were like, "What the heck is that? What happened?" And it was Tarkov. Yes, you are right. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but then they didn't know how to deal with it because it was real.
Yes.
Then what do you do? Yeah.
Well, you do what you learn on the video games.
I know, essentially.
No,
But
do you know what that?
courage to
But
do it. It's a
still-
question.
I know, but still, it's,
No. Do you know what? That they are using that how can I say that? Recurring. I mean, they will use it and they will like, okay, this is fine. This is work, and we will do another stuff. Do you know what I mean? They are doing it like that. Yeah, they are. They are. Technically, we will do that. We did that. I mean, in new context of existence,
Mm-hmm.
because it is always good for random people to get actual and good information out. What do you think? You say?
Oh yeah, and that's just why I'm getting it out. My experience of being my recollection of Total Recall, of being a super soldier, and all these missions I've been on, and even you said earlier about being able to dispatch Heather. You guys had to open a portal up and send her through it, and I actually
Yeah.
have mission recall actually of and this can actually be looked at on the internet. There was a group of exorcists in the Vatican that actually were brought into the Vatican to be exorcists, and obviously I was involved in an infiltration mission in infiltrating the Vatican by being infiltrated into these exorcists. And I actually remember being infiltrated, and then what was going on behind the scenes, what I was seeing. And I was obviously seeing supernatural things. And I remember actually being involved in a battle where we were opening up portals and closing them in the Vatican, and having to,
Yes, but I will say you why. Because
and
they
we were
look.
rescuing children too. We were rescuing children.
Yes, because they believe that, okay, I mean, help me, the Vatican, I mean, the exorcist, the Pope, they gave them, how we can call it, approval or something like that. Approval, I think it is approval. They believe that it is that easy, and it is not, because not all of those bad things in quotes, they are not, I don't know, they are not what, demons or whatever. Not only demons. There can be a lot of stuff, not only be demons, and that's the problem. Okay, fine. Once they are demons, or in a Muslim uh, belief system, jinns, or so, fine. But once they are not, then they are in big trouble. Do you know what I'm talking about? And this is it, my friend. What you said. Absolutely, you are friend. Yeah, yeah, you are right.
Yeah, I
Excellent.
just remember, and obviously in opening portals, there's spells being casted. I remember doing like Nordic spells and all these different things to open up portals and close them in the Vatican, and obviously rescuing children that were kept there. That was obviously just another recall that I was having of just these type of missions that are happening that super soldiers are being used for. So
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of crazy stuff over there in the Vatican. Yeah, it's a very strange place.
yeah, you are right.
Um, so what happens? What happens next here? You know that a lot of the stuff is still opening up. People are still getting rescued. The context is still changing.
Yeah, that's true. That's maybe the problem why such a crazy stuff will happen sometimes. Yeah, it's not
There's
okay.
still some unpredictability
You are right.
with the flow of energy, and at any moment, like the way people are being pulled into missions, it's spontaneous almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Unpredictable. Yep, you are right.
yeah.
Absolutely, you are right.
Is it going to become even more volatile, or is it going to become a little bit more steady?
This is the stuff. More steady, but it's not so easy. It's not so easy.
You mean not so easy to actually initiate the missions, or um, what part is not so easy?
Not so easy. That means uh, it will take, and I mean a lot of time. Once it will stay calm, it will be stay calm, something like that. It's not so easy to manifest that. Even we are trying to do our best in order to, let's say, make our surface, water surface, fine. I like to call it that way. It's not easy
Well,
like
the
that.
babushka went pretty deep. You know, there was deep layers of what they did to our yeah, construct of existence. And so,
Context contracts through that. We
yeah,
know what we are talking about. Yeah.
they went in deep, didn't they? And through like
Yeah.
the babushka,
Yeah.
so that there's still that, like you said, is residual, but there's how could I say it? Some of it's like steel, like a wall.
Ah, you were right. No, you
Yeah.
are right. Yeah. Uh-huh. You are right.
So some of the layers were easier than others, and I think that the difficult ones are still there.
Yes.
Some of them. That's why we still have some of the weird things happening on the planet.
Yeah. And actually, he was in Italy, my friend, in Dolomites. Those almost crazy-ish stuff rocks. Do you know what I mean? People on snowboards love to get from them. And something happened, but I don't know what the heck it was. I don't know. It was absolutely crazy. And you and Faith, you tried to help those people, but technically, it was the same ish. It was like a ball, and it was spinning goddamn fast, and it was literally like like in Men in Black movie, that it was no, it is small. and it was like, I don't know, galaxy or whatever. Absolutely, it was weird. Absolutely.
I recall a video game that had those Italian Dolomites. Am I right? Is it?
Yeah,
Do I
you
have
were
them?
right. But
What
technically,
game was that?
I don't know. But do you know what, actually, my friend? Have you any recollection of that? Something like that? I'm asking you, my friend.
You,
I
Anthony.
didn't
Anthony.
I didn't quite hear the question.
I am asking if you can recall being in Dolomites in Italy. Those crazy ass rocks, it was absolutely crazy.
I'm actually not sure what Dolomites are. Like that is.
It's like stone structures, natural occurring, I believe.
Yeah, but they are extremely, I mean, hard to get on. They are like,
It definitely I not off the top of my head, but I'm getting a resonance obviously with it. But
I am asking, because that was this ish stuff. It was a ball. It was 4 inches, like that, like 10 centimeters in diameter, and it was rotating crazy fast. And I don't know why. I don't know why they use, or what they use, something like that. It was weird, and you was burned. Both of you was burned. Yep, this is it.
Can you
What
see
I'm.
this?
oh yes, I do remember this.
Yes, and this is my. Look at that. Like, no, not this small. This big. Look at that. This big. Yes, it is absolutely crazy. It is total crazy, my friend. And do you know what happened then? They burn you and Fate.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's what that that technology does.
No, but no, it wasn't normal. It was like your palms were kind of, how can I call it, like azure. So some sort of cross between blue and red. And you were like, birds, it's not okay, something like that. It was absolutely crazy. But I don't know what it was about. I mean, at all, nothing. Small ball, and it was spinning, it was rotating crazy fast, and making this buzz sound like bzzz, something like that. And there was this man and woman, like early 30s, and you want to help them, but they were they was killed, and they was like, what the heck is that? Okay, we will use this. So I am happy that you can recollect the stuff, because this technology is for Kruger, actually, and
Mhm.
they are making another types, more highly advanced types of prototypes of their stuff. But I don't know. It's absolutely weird.
So
Crap.
is Kruger growing? Are they bringing in more people, or are they just advancing more in technology?
Yeah, advancing more arguments, all kind of that stuff. Yeah, but it's not okay. Like, it's not fair for their active super soldiers to make them pain or whatever. It's not okay.
Are they advancing because of the missions that we're doing in stealing and sabotaging and
Yes,
infiltrating
yes,
all the technologies that we're stealing and all these from
yes.
these different corporations that are involved in nefarious things.
Yes, you are right. That's
So
the ultimate goal. Yes, my friend.
And there's a scientist in the other reality, was the Japanese scientist Michael, as we know him.
No, not only in another reality, in this reality too.
In this reality too, and was
Yes,
instrumental in helping with the augments. Is that correct?
you are right. Absolutely.
And I actually wanted to start mentioning that to the other reality, the Nazi parallel reality. I have memories of being over there, and seeing the Kruger building, and the cars there are ran differently, like with magnetic engines. All of the technology is given to everybody over there. All the suppressed technology is actually utilized in that reality. And I have all my memories coming back of being in that reality, where actually as well, people have openly psychic abilities. They can, and actually one of the a movie that is can be seen for this is the movie Looper, where they're connected with the past, or the present and the future. And obviously in the future, people have psychokinesis, telekinesis, and all this. And I just remember being over there, and actually just one memory of being in a convenience store, type scenario, and this kid walks in and he's just levitating pencil in his hand, and then I actually did my abilities too. So all these memories are coming back of me being over in that parallel reality, where I actually am a trainer of super soldiers. Like, that's what I do. I have a school, and I'm involved with training super soldiers. So and obviously that is the reality that's merging with this one. Am I not right, Peter?
Absolutely, you are right, because technically the best stuff what you are doing, that you are best, trainer or so, teacher, yeah, something like that. Both in one, two in one. Yeah, you are right. Yep, that's true. Absolutely.
And I know that this is very key information, because people are wondering what's going on. And that is what's going on, is we are merging with this reality, which is going to bring in all the Nazi technology and all of that. And the people in this reality are going to have to understand what's happening with this technology and what it looks like with it being brought in. And so that's what's going to have to be understood with the merging of realities, with all of this technology being brought in.
Yep, you are absolutely right. I'm happy that you are the one. I'm happy, I'm just saying.
No, I'm happy too. I understand what's going on. I know, I've spent like 10 years understanding what's going on, and I do have the understanding with being connected with that reality, going back and forth between this one and that one. Obviously,
and that's the problem, my friend, and that's the problem, because it was like, okay, what the heck happened? I got you completely. I know. Yeah.
It's very interesting because we haven't really talked about the effect and how this transition's happening. It's sort of, feeling that there's some residual effect from the old context of existence still being here, and then the merging together with the other, how that's going to play out, but giving everyone a heads up that it's happening, and then it won't feel so uncomfortable, and that people will start to see some signs and indications, and maybe explaining more about what it's like over there and how that's going to impact us here, Peter.
Yes, you are right, but I mean, it's kind of complicated for people that I don't want to talk about that. I hate this kind of Nazi-ish talk, this trash talk, all kind of that stuff. But in their system, everything works fine.
And everybody's happy. I know what you mean, Peter, and I've even heard you talk about this on James's show. But just the fact of a Nazi parallel reality in this reality is definitely misunderstood based on what is known about the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are right. You are goddamn right, my friend.
Yeah, and
Well,
the misinformation and stuff, because I mean, what I'm remembering is actually being in that reality and actually meeting. I remember shaking hands with Gabriel Kruger, and I remember
Yep.
being shaking hands with Gabriel Kruger as they were, mind wiping me on the trip chair and sending me back in time, and a good example of a movie for what can be seen with people in the future being sent back in time is the movie Terminator Genesis.
Yes, exactly. You are absolutely right, my friend.
They
Absolutely.
they have a scene where obviously they need someone to go back in time to make a difference in the timeline, and that's what my experience is I actually remember being sent back in time. I remember the trip chair. I remember walking up to the trip chair, and like you guys have done videos on it, and and even before Peter did these videos and explained it, I was doing videos on my recollection of the trip chair and referring it to the one that they do in Total Recall. It's exactly like that. And so I have memories now coming back of the trip chair and being sent back in time, and obviously shaking hands with people like Gabriel Kruger in that time. So
Yes, you are right. Hmm.
and,
and
and
in
that tech
that reality, in that parallel reality, getting sent over to this.
the trip chair that Peter talked about in that show that we did, that is a very old, the way that it was drawn is an artist rendition of it, and he said it was quite old, right? Peter's
Yeah,
like thousands of years old.
like I
That
don't know.
location.
Yeah, but very old. Like, yeah,
So
five,
I mean, they've
six,
been
or something like that. Yeah.
5,000-6,000 years.
Yep.
So this is how long time travel has been going
Yeah,
on.
it's crazy.
And probably even before that under another type of technology. And
Definitely,
of
you are
course,
right.
ETs have been here
Definitely.
in and out
Mhm.
for a long time.
Yes.
It's still hard for people to, recognize that, but it's so obvious. You can actually see indications of it. Why not? That enough people have already said they've had these experiences, and yet
Yep, you are
it's
right.
it's fear that they're not really sure how to take in this information. That's normal, I guess.
It is, and that was kind of what I wanted to refer to too, is the four types of people, the four types of reactions that are going to happen as this reality merges with ours. There's going to be obviously the first people that are scared shitless. They are just completely scared of what's happening, what's going to be showing up as the merging happens, and they're going to be scared. And obviously, the second people are going to be the worshipers. The ones that are in worship or whatever of what they're seeing,
Yeah.
because they don't completely understand it. And then there's going to be the third people that are the intellectuals. That are all like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. The egotistical intellectuals are
Sorry.
right.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
they're
are right.
going to be the ones that are like, oh, I knew this. I knew this was the way it was, and
Or that they discovered it.
yeah, right. That's going to be the third type, and then there's going to be the fourth type that are like all the light workers and star seeds that have just been waiting for this to happen, and are welcoming of it and understanding of it. And as this happens, that's what I understand is that those are going to be like the four types of reactions as this is coming.
Yep, you
Yeah,
are
makes
right.
sense to me.
Yep, to me too. Absolutely. Yeah, yep, you are right.
In the
I mean,
end,
I do have memories as well. That's what I'm trying to say is as a super soldier, as this is happening, I do have precognitive things that are happening of when the future comes in and what is incorporated in that. And obviously, I have a lot of memories of explaining to crowds of people, you know, about what's really happening. So I know that that is a future scenario that is on the precipice.
Yep.
there might be a fifth group, and that's the children that come in that already are waiting and expecting and knowing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
because they're pretty amazing. Kids, the stuff that they already know about.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I'm living with one right now. I'll just mention that because actually right now where I'm living with is I'm actually living with two other super soldiers, and they have a son, and he is obviously exceptional, and he's involved with studying nothing but stuff with that has to do with the Space Force and all of that. And so we're all living together and actually harmonizing, you know, which is actually a very rare thing for super soldiers to be going through, especially ones that are healing. So we're all helping each other right now wake up and help each other through this awakening process.
yeah, and one of my friends who's not exposed to any of this, her grandson was asking her about wanting to have a discussion about aliens randomly, like not from anything on television. You know, just trying to figure out, you know, that that's an alien. I know I saw an alien before. What was he doing here? You know, just asking questions that were far more advanced. And he was about 5 years old or so. And so there's a large group of our youth that have been targeted for abuse, have been targeted for abductions, have been targeted for all these really terrible things, but that's changing. But this is why, because they're coming in knowing. A lot of them, you know, have an idea of what's going to happen.
Yep, you are right. It's technically, let's say, we get uh, over no a point of no return much more time ago. I mean, it was like half, maybe 1.5 year ago. It was crazy. So we are here. Do you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can be happy.
Anthony, when Peter and I started talking, people were very reluctant. They didn't want to hear what we had to say, or they, you know, there was no point of validation, but I knew Peter was telling the truth. And I said, "Well, let's continue to talk about what's going on." And I knew he was telling the truth because I would see something and then he would tell me about it and I'd say, "I just saw that." So we were going back and forth. It's been difficult past 5 years or so of these discussions. And he told us that all of this stuff was going to happen that we're going through right now. And when everyone first heard it, they said, "No, this is crazy. It's not going to happen." And it has. And we've been proving it over and over again. And we still have the doubting Thomases that you know just you know say that I don't know. I mean, I want to have more proof, or you know, why, you know, all these different whys and questions, which is fine. I think the questions are fine, but bringing this information to the table, and you know this as well, because I know that you've done quite a few interviews with different people. Bringing this to the table is difficult, especially if the person you're doing the interview with is very skeptical. And so you have, but the detail and information that you have is something that confuses them because they can't imagine how you would know so much.
Well,
Yeah.
because I have a good explanation for that because there is actually a movie called Paycheck, and it has Ben Affleck in it. And in this movie, he's involved in being involved in black operations, and obviously reverse engineering technology. But then when he's done, his memory is erased, and he doesn't recollect. But what he actually does recollect is he leaves clues for himself that make him understand that he's been involved in time travel. And what is happening to me is the same thing that's happening, and that is as I'm seeing the timeline unfold, events are happening that I knew was going to happen as I came back, and so I'm seeing the events happen in the timeline that is letting me know that this future timeline is unfolding, and so that's how I'm able to have this information, is because I've been involved in time travel, and obviously in this context of existence, that is something that is not believed in. So we are having to break through that belief system with the information, you know, that we know. So
Yeah, in some ways, we're all, you know, a type of ambassador. You know,
Yeah, you are right.
bringing the information out to people in you know, bits and pieces. Each one you may be appealing to a certain demographic that can relate to us, because
Yep.
you know, from each one of us is very different. Even though I'm very, you know, like, if you had told me 15, 20 years ago I'd be involved in something like this, I would have doubted it. And particularly in military, because I was not involved in military whatsoever. And I found out that, you know, probably about 7 years ago, or yeah, is when a lot of military people started showing up around me. And so that none of that made any sense, but now it does. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it does. Believe it
Mhm.
does.
and like just like the final thing I wanted to talk about, because we're just obviously making connections and we're talking about time travel now, is and obviously we're getting close to the elections as well. So obviously would like to bring up my mission. I have many missions that I remember with meeting with Donald Trump, but obviously linking Donald Trump and time travel is a very important aspect on understanding,
You are right. You are right.
right, understanding what's happening right now. And just one of the mission recalls that I remember with meeting with Donald Trump was actually in February 2017, and even at that time, you know, it can be seen that he was flying in a plane, and Fox News caught actually UFO flying by his plane.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I actually at the same time I started recalling missions of being involved with meeting with Donald Trump and escorting Donald Trump. And this mission I recalled was actually confirmed by another super soldier. Her name is Elena Kapulnik. And I remember actually being involved with being security for Donald Trump as he was being taken up to the ships in space, and being briefed on the secret space program and all that. And I remember being in a hangar bay where he was coming out, and I remember him coming out of the ship, and that's when I actually remember seeing Elena Kapolnik there, and the next actually, and I was there for security, and she was there for communications, and basically what happened was we recalled each other and got in contact with each other and kind of uh, talked about information that we remembered from that mission. But that was one of the first missions I remember recalling with being involved with Donald Trump, and you know, him being briefed on the secret space program and time travel.
Yeah, and technically, I need to say something. I don't know if you are able to recollect that. You was technically, uh, how can I say that? Like involved in this system. It was PS, and there was 35, and I don't know what it was then. It was like Bloodshot. Can you remember that? Bloodshot.
Uh, no, I do know about Bloodshot and that. So
I'm just saying that what you was able to do all kind of that stuff because you was much more advanced via this special nanites or picoites or something like that.
Yes, I do. I remember that technology and how it's used.
Yeah, I'm
Peter,
just
Peter, do you
saying.
want to expand on that for the audience
Yep,
about Bloodshot?
bloodshot. They were normal, old, normal. They are calling it normal, old, normal-ish nanite system, NR-ish system. That means it was like nanotech, robotic systems, and they are injecting to the veins, right? And technically you are like, I don't want to say uh, how we can call it correctly, uh, you are not 100%ly correct, but let's say let's say that you are not 100%ly correct, inkillable, but it is hard to kill you physically. Even they started to
Yeah,
make
they showed that on the movie too. Like he they show exactly that on the movie on how hard he is to kill, but he's not unkillable, but it's pretty much almost impossible.
yeah, it's not unkillable, yeah, but pretty much
You have to take on
impossible.
a lot of damage, because the nanites and all that are repairing everything, and yeah, I understand that technology.
You are right.
And
Yes.
one thing I wanted to add, because obviously you guys are doing soft disclosure on your well, we're doing it on the ACIO site, but just three movies that are key to understanding super soldier technology is for the nanites and the replication, all that. Bloodshot is one movie, and the memory erasal and how they do that technology. Bloodshot is good for that. The other movie is for consciousness transfer, would be The Ghost in the Shell, and then the final movie for cloning is Gemini Man. So
Yes.
basically,
Yeah.
you take all those movies and put them together, and you understand how they do consciousness transfers into clones that are made into super soldiers with this nanite technology.
Yes, you are right. Absolutely, you are right. Yeah.
There's a lot out there already, preparing people and having an awareness of what type of technology is accessible or what's being used for the super soldiers. And so, and it's funny. It's like the chicken and the egg. Which came first. And bless you, by the way.
Absolutely.
Is it which came first? Did the movie come out first, or and then that's why we're talking about it. And we always have this little struggle with people, and it's like, no, this is the disclosure of what they're actually doing, and that's how they're
Yes.
able to depict it with such detail and describe, the effects and all the different things that are going on. So, yeah, thanks for suggesting these other three movies. Every time I turn around, there's more. There's
Yeah,
so much out there right now.
I have a lot to add, and obviously I'll be discussing it with you and getting in contact with you about all the different soft disclosure movies that there are.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
always all kind of that stuff you just uh, uh, do and get. It's perfect. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, you can always contact me and send anything forward, because there's different things that I've researched, and and Peter, of course, he could sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours, you know, of all the
Yes.
information, but we only have a window of opportunity that we talk, whether it's
Yeah.
per week, and then there was a period of time I didn't hear from you, Peter, for months. So,
Yeah.
because you were
That.
on missions, Peter's still doing missions.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And then she started to. Screw my life.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, back at
Absolutely.
well, this is the other monarch. Yeah,
Yes.
this is the other monarch solutions. We'll get through it like we did. We'll figure it out, I guess, Peter.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah, as long as you stay in one piece, then we're good. Otherwise,
I want to talk about one more thing that I'm actually curious about.
Okay, go ahead.
And so we gotta definitely touch upon this because obviously I have many different types of people approach me in my life from different intelligence agencies, and basically I've been approached by the Mossad, and they actually one time I was in Hawaii, and I was just there at a little cabana place, and I was actually talking to someone about being a Marine, and then this guy just shows up out of nowhere, and he starts talking about being Israeli intelligence, and that's why I understand there's different agencies that are looking at me and looking out for me, but I had one encounter. Obviously, this was a honey trap type encounter, which in the intelligence agencies it's referred to as an asset that's used, in a manner like a sexual way. And I believe that this now that I'm starting to put understanding to this encounter, I'm understanding that this was a most likely a monarch asset that was placed into my life. Because I was at a fight, and I actually was done with the fight. Going back up to my room, and this woman approaches me out of nowhere. She just comes out of nowhere, and then she asked me, if that was the direction to the fights. But she obviously just came from the fights, so she knew. She already knew that that was the direction, but she was obviously sent in to approach me and have some sort of effect on me, which she did, but she doesn't anymore. But she, she was a gypsy belly dancer. She was a stunt double for Mila Jovovich in the movies that she was doing, and she was also a pilot, and she'd been to over 30 different countries. So I now know that these assets are sent into my life to basically do the adjustment bureau type thing. And I was just wondering, Peter, am I right about her being, a monarch asset or some sort of
Yep.
asset
Yes,
to
you are right.
to steer me off course, basically?
Yes, you are right. Uh-huh.
Good.
she one of the regular ones that show up. that
No,
they usually
I'm
make
saying no. I
Because
am.
she just seemed like an android too. There wasn't very much emotion and stuff, but she just kind of seemed like an android, if I'm right about that.
Yeah, and that's the stuff. Once she was an android, and I think according what our people was able to get from your recollections, that she was only an android, and they are not using androids for those purposes you describe. Do you know what I mean?
So that was Monarch then.
Yes.
That was try. And what did they take from him? See, this is the after effect.
Yes.
How did they impact him? Maybe you need to say it privately. I don't know, but I mean, I know
No,
that
I
it's
think
not an accident.
now they tried to get some sort of info, but
Right.
once there is no chip, there are all those nanites. It's worthless for them. Do you know what I mean? It's worthless because they want to search for chip. Do you know what I mean? For something you can touch, but there is nothing. It's, you know what I mean? It's impossible.
Just for the general public, because a lot of people encounter these different things, especially if they're doing some important work. The type of questions that they ask, the way that they know how to appeal to you, they look in a way that is that you find attractive. It's like they know that.
They know information about you, definitely. You know, she
Yeah,
knew
we have
information.
this in common, that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
she already knew information about me, and so that was what I was being subjected to, was basically them trying to gather intelligence from me. Which, you know, obviously you're going to talk, obviously you're going to let things out, and now that I know what that was, you know, I'm not too happy about that, but basically I know what it was now, so I'm able to move on and past that. So
Yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky, and I I don't know. I think a lot of people have been tricked. I know I have as well. Yeah. They're slick. They know what they're doing. They can make it seem like a very innocent experience, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I start
Yes, you are
tracing
right.
back through my
yeah,
life and it's
she was
crazy.
programmed. She was programmed
Yes.
basically because everything that I like imagined or wanted, or she was. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And she was completely programmed uh, to a point to where it was just like, how the hell is this even possible?
They know exactly what to say. I'm telling you that, you know, you're before you know it, you're all starry-eyed and you're like, I don't even, you know, this is the perfect person. They understand me. They know exactly how I feel. You know, they know what I like. It's pretty amazing. I know, Peter, you've had your share of some of these um, femme fatales or whatever that showed up. Where is he? Peter,
I'm here.
did you hear my question?
No, give me a second. That if what?
You've had your share of these type of women that were sent to you. I don't know if I would call
Many,
them
many, many.
many of them, right? Like I call them femme fatales or whatever, but
Yes, you
yeah.
are right. It's not okay. It's not so bad. It's bad. I mean, sorry, it's not so easy. It's so bad. So bad. Nope.
But they cause damage, don't they, Peter? If they get in close and they start, you know, looking around and getting in your field.
Absolutely. I can be happy that I have my actual girlfriend, you know. She's doing good stuff for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's good. And any advice, Peter, for those people out there that, you know, how do they protect themselves? How do they I don't know, see through this to prevent this from happening in their lives?
Yes, use the stuff. I mean, the how can I call it? You know, uh, once you are a believer, so use that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like the cross, I don't know, or the star, you know what I'm trying to say? Or the moon, I call it the moon, do you know what I mean? Something like that. It really work. It really work. It's kind of,
Whatever your belief system is to ask for protection, you mean?
yep,
Yeah.
yep, everything, everything.
Hmm.
It works. Yep, it works. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Anthony, is there anything else that you would like to share? I don't know if, you know, how, I mean, I can continue talking on like the last interview we had a scheduling conflict, but
I mean, of course there is more, but you know, I actually am good for now. You know, speaking on what I spoke on. So you guys are good.
Yep, I'm definitely okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that was a lot. That was a lot. You know, every time I do this, it is you know, it's a lot for me to get out. Because I don't talk about it unless I'm talking about it or I'm asked, and it is kind of a an exertion get out all this information. But obviously, in my practices, I am creating energy in my own quantum field to be able to get all this out, you know, and not be exerted or tired.
I believe you.
It is. It's a little bit emotionally taxing sometimes to talk about these things because I don't know. It's an unusual conversation, and I think it carries a different kind of energy. But not to mention the conflict that we had just trying to get together, the three of us, to have the conversation in the first place, which put a little pressure on it. But we got through it. I'm glad we didn't have any interruptions, and we're good. So I would just say thank you for joining us today, Anthony, and we'll probably do it again. And also thank you, Peter, for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you to all of our listeners. Have a good day.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comments section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.